Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird joining you live from Dirioma, Nicaragua. I hope you're doing well today. Today, we're going to dive into how to lose body fat for men over 40 specifically. The good news is, if you are a man over 40 and you've let yourself go, men tend to have more muscle mass than women do. So you're able to make some dramatic changes in your body composition really quickly. There's been a few times in my life I've let myself kind of go, or when I was powerlifting and I was trying to get really big and put on a little extra body fat, cleaned a few things up, made a few changes, and then all of a sudden I look dramatically different. And my female clients would always get mad. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe how quickly you can change." Because most men, one, are already lifting weights. If not, they have lifted weights and they have significantly more muscle mass. With women, you usually have to convince them to lift weights. And usually there's a mind game going on in their head with their body weight that kind of inhibits them from making some really serious gains and improvement. So if you're a dude, you're in a bad place, be assured that you can turn things around really fast. Because you got a lot of muscle. So that's the one thing that helps you over, say, over 40-year-old woman. So the first thing we have to do, when I work with a client, I like to work by addition. I'm not a big fan of subtraction, right? Taking things away. I like to add things at first. Now, there might be some things like if you're drinking 6 or 7 beers a night, we might have to have a talk about that, because if you're having 6 or 7 beers a night, that's going to make it very difficult for you to lose body fat, lose weight, so to speak. Okay. But the number one thing I want to do is fix sleep. Sleep is critical. If you're not sleeping well, you're not going to make good choices. Your blood sugar is going to be elevated. You're going to have cortisol issues. You're going to have hormone issues. All these things are related to sleep. So the number one thing we can do to fix sleep is get your ass outside first thing in the morning when the sun comes up. So you get outside right now, so to speak. I got up, sun comes up here at 5:30. I was out at 5:30 with my dogs walking around in the sun. It comes up over Mombacho here in the mountains, the volcano that's right next to me. And I'll go for a little walk here in a minute. I've been spending a little too much time in front of the screen lately. So I've made some guidelines and rules. After every time I do a call, every time I do a show, I'm going to do some push-ups. I'm going to sit in a deep squat, and I'm going to go for a walk and get out in the sun. So I'm not going to lie, I fall into the screen trap as well, especially since it's what I do for a living now. So get outside. I like to tell people, I stole it from Stan Efferding, walk outside 3 times a day after meals. I like to do it as an observational exercise, breathing through the nose, kind of calming you down, getting out in nature. We're so revved up all day that it's very easy to eat a bag of chips you don't even notice, or just shovel your food down mindlessly. You need to become present in the moment and calm down and relax. The number 2 thing I really love to focus on, and with a lot of these things, like if you're really struggling to get outside a couple times a day, maybe I'll go to another habit or add something else that's maybe easier for you. But I'm not going to add 5 or 6 things until you master the one that we're working on. So if you get outside 3 times a day, 90% of the time for 2 or 3 weeks, then it might be time to add another habit, right? Or we might add 2 at the beginning. I just don't want to overwhelm people, right? A lot of people get overwhelmed. But then again, in my case, when I was extremely ill, I did full out blitzkrieg. I did all the things, but I was really sick. There's been a couple times in my life where I was really sick, and I did the blitzkrieg approach. But most people don't need the blitzkrieg approach. So adding a protein at every meal. Most guys love protein, so that's not a big deal for them. So the protein pushes a lot of the refined garbage out. So if you eat more protein, you're going to be more full. You're not going to eat as much of the sugary, snacky kind of stuff. Your appetite's going to, fall into place. It's going to help regulate your blood sugar. It's going to help you build more muscle mass. But most people dramatically undereat protein. So we start there. It's going to help with your sleep, believe it or not. So we add a protein at every meal. And then over time, we get into more details about nutrition. But at first, just adding a protein and getting outside a couple times a day makes a huge difference. Then we're going to talk water. And I try to make it as simple as possible. Drink spring water. That's it. Now you could do RO water, which is reverse osmosis if you're in a pinch money wise. You can get that at Walmart, you can get that at most grocery stores, and basically all the minerals are taken out. So you're going to want to use something called concentration. You're going to want to put 2 drops in 8 ounces of water. So, if you can't afford Mountain Valley or whatever, if spring water isn't shipped to your house, you can get reverse osmosis. That's kind of like plan B. But most of you dudes are going to go out. Most of you guys that are over 40 are going to have 4 or 5 beers when you go play golf. You're going to have a couple cocktails when you go out to dinner, right? You're going to have a couple old fashions. Those are $10 a piece. I mean, that's like, at the most expensive, at $10, that's a whole 5 gallons of spring water right there. So, what are your priorities? Is your priority truly health? Then cut back a few of those cocktails and then buy some spring water and don't complain about it. So that spring water is going to help balance your minerals, help lower blood pressure. It's going to help you be more hydrated. Here's a really simple way for you to know if you're drinking enough water. One, if it's clear, you're drinking too much. 2, if it's dark yellow, you're not drinking enough, or you're taking a vitamin B supplement. So you want it somewhere in the middle. That's when you know you're drinking enough water. So get yourself some high quality spring water, whatever's local to your area. Try and avoid tap water and all the garbage that comes with it, and make sure you're getting enough water. The next one is super duper important. Get the lights off at night. You got to get the lights off at night. Make your room a cold, dark place. We got to get sleep improved, because you could get out in the morning and get your morning light and then shoot it all to hell when you go in your bedroom and you turn your TV on and it's bright, or the room isn't cold. If you're married, or if you have a lady friend, girlfriend that is freezing, let her put all the covers on. But what I do is I have basically a ice pack that I wrap around my stomach, that if I'm in a situation where I can't turn the AC down as much as I'd like to, I will put an ice pack. Obviously I wear a t-shirt so I don't get any skin burning, but I have an ice pack that wraps around my whole stomach that'll lower my body temperature. Hot shower before bed is really good as well. And then the last component is you got to have some friends. You got to have community. You got to feel connected. You got to feel like you have a purpose. Okay. If you are an aimless dude and you have no purpose and you don't feel like you have any kind of meaning, you're going to watch porn. You're going to eat junk food. You're going to drink excessively. You're just going to do that because you don't feel like you have any reason to be here, and you're just going to medicate yourself. So find yourself, go like a lot of guys get married and they just kind of like quit hanging out with their buddies. Make sure you keep connected with your guy friends. Go fishing together, go hunting together, work on an engine together. Just go do stuff with dudes from time to time. I'm not saying like, ignore your family, ignore your wife and girlfriend, whatever. Don't do that. But you've got to have some dude friends that you can be dudes with. Because if you lose that side of you as a guy, if you lose that chasing excellence, purpose side, 1, the people in your life are going to lose respect for you. And 2, you're going to medicate. You're going to medicate with alcohol. You're going to medicate with, food, pornography, whatever it is. If you don't have a purpose, you're going to be in trouble. So let's review really quickly. Get outside 3 times a day. Walk, tongue to the roof of your mouth, nice and relaxed, observation exercise. Okay. Protein at every meal. Perfect. Steak, chicken, fish. Okay. Fistful, preferably. High quality water. Cut back on the booze. Get yourself some good water. You deserve it. Okay. Lights off at night, cold, dark room. Get off the freaking screens, get some blue blockers if you need some. If you have to be on the screens, but get your work done before sunset, for heaven's sake, on the screen. Uh, It's something I've struggled with. And then community. You need to have a great community. You need to have men that you can talk with, joke around with, have a good time with, be yourself with. And speaking of that, I have just started a brand new community called the Vitality Brotherhood. Okay. And it's for 40-plus-year-old men. And I am going to put a link in the chat. And we're going to have, meet for coffee once a week. We're going to hang out. There's places in there where we can talk about history. I'm going to have a mini course in there about body fat. I'm going to be adding other courses as time goes on, educational stuff. I'm going to let the content be driven by your questions. So go ahead, sign up. It's brand new. Get in there. I've got an exercise library in there. Ask questions in the Q&A. Introduce yourself. And I'm going to basically customize the content according to what you guys want and help you. And obviously, I have a coaching program for men specifically. If you're serious about making changes in your life and you want to dramatically change your life, we can talk about that as well. But the free group is there. Please join in. Please like, subscribe, share this with someone you might think would be helpful for them. I appreciate you watching, and have yourself a great day. The link is below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Make sure you get outside.